Dr. John Barrell here from Springs Medical with my co-director Dr. Gerard Ingham. We're focusing tonight on influenza vaccine 2020. Are they here yet, Gerard?
Yes, John, they've just arrived. They're just out in the fridge out the back as we speak. Though the only ones which we've got at the moment are the ones which are available for people over 65. And that's probably not a bad idea because, of course, they're the people we're encouraging to be immunised first. They're the ones who are most at risk if they were to get influenza, and particularly with this COVID-19 outbreak happening. We're very keen for the elderly to be immunised straight away. So our priority at the moment is to get those 300 immunisations, which we've got in the fridge, to be delivered to the over 65s. Obviously, we're going to keep getting deliveries, and as they arrive, we'll be able to immunise more people. Ultimately, down the track, we'll get the immunisations which are available for people under 65, and the immunisations who are still at risk, and then finally we'll get the final group is the people who would just like to have a flu vaccine because it generally reduces your risk of catching the flu, and they will be available a bit later. One thing, of course, to make quite clear is that while we're encouraging everyone to have the flu vaccine, it doesn't prevent you getting COVID-19. You need to do other things to stop getting COVID-19. You need to keep your appropriate spatial distancing so to reduce your
risk.
Wash your hands.
But better to be protected from influenza and not get two things at the same time.
Absolutely.
So we're rolling out these flu clinics, focusing this week on the over 65s. We'll move on to Trentham and Kyneton ASAP, and we'll move on to other age groups ASAP. How do I get it? How do I get the vaccine?
So if you're over 65, currently you can get it by getting an appointment. We're actually having them starting this Sunday, and our plan is to keep running them out every Sunday. One of the reasons, of course, we're running them on a Sunday is we're trying to keep this spatial distancing, so we're trying to make sure that our flu vaccines don't happen at the same time we're doing other routine care. So people who come for a flu vaccine won't be able to get a prescription or get anything else at that time. They'll be coming in and out and getting their flu vaccine, so that will mean that people will not be spending a long time in the clinic with each other. So did I explain that you can book either online or by telephone appointment?
Yep. And so we'll be taking those bookings as long as we've got supplies, and the supplies will keep coming. People can book online or telephone to get an appointment.
Let's be honest, John, it's likely to run out very soon, the first supply, we're not going to be creating appointments to put there just in case that we get a delivery next week, because then we'll have this disastrous situation where we're having to ring 100 people to say the flu vaccines aren't in. So just work with us on this one, because it's difficult times and we're doing different things. If you ring up and there aren't any appointment spots available, they will be available, but we just can't create those appointments until we actually have the flu.
But we anticipate now that deliveries have started, that deliveries will continue.
They generally keep going.
So when the patients come in on Sunday morning, what will they notice? What's going to happen?
Well, basically they'll be, hopefully they'll notice that there's not many other people in the waiting room. That's the ideal thing. We're generally going to have 2 or 3 doctors working at the one time, and they'll come in, greet the receptionist, confirm that they are who they say they are, and then go into the waiting room. Then when they're called into the doctor's office, as I mentioned before, they'll just be giving the flu vaccine. There will be people who should be having a pneumonia vaccine, and if that's appropriate, we'll be giving that at the same time. But that is all that will be happening, and then they'll go out. In general, previously we would always get people to wait for 15 minutes in the waiting room after an immunisation, because there was a rare chance of a severe reaction immediately after the immunisation. Because we think that risk is low, particularly for people who've had the influenza vaccine, and we don't want people sitting around together, we're trying to get this spatial distancing, we're going to be having people not waiting that time. It probably would be wise if they wait in the car park before heading home, so they could call us if they were becoming unwell, but they'll just be going straight out. And of course all these over 65 influenza vaccines will be bulk billed, so people won't need to go back to the desk on their way out. Again, we are doing things so differently because we are working on making sure that we've got a plan that works for the COVID-19.
So just emphasising, Gerard, cost, particularly for this over 65 group, is there any cost in coming to flu clinic at Springs Venue?
Zero cost.
Very good.
Okay.
Excellent. Can't shake your hand, mate.
We can do this one.
No.
You're not even
Too
wanting to do
German.
one.
Thanks,
Good.
folks.
Thank you. Cheerio.